The fragile 2-week ceasefire between the United States and Iran officially expires at the end of this Wednesday. Behind the scenes, both delegations have reached consensus on the broad outlines of a peace deal. Publicly, the rhetoric tells a different story. President Donald Trump has warned that if the deadline passes without a signed agreement, lots of bombs start going off. Iran's top negotiator, Mohammad Bakr Ghalibaf, has matched that tone, stating Tehran is prepared to reveal new cards on the battlefield rather than negotiate under threats. These escalating threats have brought the planned peace talks to the edge of collapse before the delegates even meet. Both nations generally agree on the terms of peace, yet they are actively accelerating back toward war just days before the deadline. In Islamabad, Pakistan, mediators are working desperately to hold the second round of negotiations together. The U.S. delegation traveling to these talks is led by Vice President J.D. Vance. His mission faces an immediate threat from a sudden military escalation at sea. This is the Strait of Hormuz. It is a critical, inescapable water passage that serves as a central bottleneck for global trade and the current conflict. Over the weekend, U.S. forces seized an Iranian-flagged vessel right at this juncture. This ongoing U.S. blockade presents a military reality that contradicts the very premise of a ceasefire. Tehran has responded with threats to boycott the talks entirely, claiming they will not negotiate while under military duress. These actions in the Strait of Hormuz are actively destroying the trust diplomats need to finalize the treaty in Pakistan. Beyond the physical blockade, diplomatic sabotage through public rhetoric has created a second roadblock. The president's public demands and threats of immediate bombings undercut the work of his own negotiating team. This strategy is known as maximalism, where one party demands an absolute concession from the other, leaving no space for mutual compromise. Pakistani mediators have warned the U.S. administration that this heavy-handed rhetoric is damaging the entire peace process. For the Iranian leadership to sign a deal, they must be able to present the agreement as a victory to their domestic audience to avoid appearing weak. By publicly demanding total surrender, the U.S. administration makes it politically impossible for Iranian leaders to sign the deal, even if they agree with the fine print. The talks have reached a point of paralysis. Military brinkmanship at sea and combative posturing from Washington have frozen the progress made on the actual treaty. Figures within the U.S. delegation, including Jared Kushner, are now caught in the middle of a collapsing diplomatic framework. Diplomacy requires an environment where neither side feels they are being actively attacked or publicly humiliated. As the Wednesday deadline nears, the central question is whether leaders in Washington and Tehran can restrain their impulses long enough to sign the agreement they have already reached. If these key diplomats leave the negotiating table, the entire region plunges back into a full-scale military conflict. The inability of leaders to stop sabotaging their own diplomatic success has become the greatest threat to a lasting peace.